Davante Adams is one of the best wide receivers in football, but one of the best wide receivers in the last 10 years, no doubt about it. I honestly don't believe the Raiders will trade with the 49ers. That's why the Khalil Mack deal, John Lynch had a deal in place or was trying to make the deal happen, and the Raiders just would not trade with the 49ers. They weren't going to do it. If they wanted a second-round pick of Brandon Aiyuk, I'd do it in a heartbeat. And that's no disrespect to Brandon Aiyuk. That's just how much I love Davante Adams and how much of an accomplished receiver he is. And you imagine Davante with Brock Purdy? Oh, my God.
Ain't nothing you can do about it.
So you're giving up a second-round pick and Brandon Aiyuk?
Yeah, why not? I'm getting Davante. The hell with the picks.
He's basically a rental this year, by the way, because all the guaranteed money is this season, and then you could move off of him if you were to do that.
No, it's interesting because I do believe Davante's a better player than Brandon Aiyuk, but it's crazy how like we were. And you're not alone. I'm not isolating you. I'm saying fans and we were all like, he's worth this, and then another player who's a little bit better, maybe a lot better. I don't know what the degrees are. Yeah. Not only are we trading this guy that we balked all summer about paying, whether he was worth X, Y, and Z, we're also stapling a second-round pick. I find that to be, shocking.
Third-round pick, second. It's Davante Adams.
What does he do that much better than Brandon Aiyuk?
One-on-one, you're not going to guard him one-on-one. You will have to double him.
Okay.
Every single play. And if you don't, and you go one-on-one, Davante Adams can run every single route to a T. He's the best route runner in football. I mean, him and Justin Jefferson are like 1A, 1B when it comes to route running. Big boy. We want to talk about isolating a guy in the red zone, high point in the football. Davante does that.
No, I love him. I mean, I love him as a player.
So that's what you're getting. You're getting the ultimate respect from defenses, and it's opening up the field for everybody else because you may not have Christian McCaffrey this year. You just may not have him. And we talk about man beaters in the Super Bowl and this year and getting yak and separation. Well, guess what Davante does, Spadoni? You see it? He beats man coverage. Hell, he beats double teams. So that's just, and I don't think it's going to happen. But I try to make it happen.
Well, it could because there is a relationship between Aiyuk and the head coach, Antonio Pierce. Like there is a legit relationship there. Aiyuk talked about it during the Super Bowl when they even asked about Antonio Pierce when he became the Raiders' full-time head coach because he was on Herman Edwards' staff, Antonio Pierce, at Arizona State, where Brandon Aiyuk obviously went to college. So there is something there. Now, I don't think a lot of players are going to be offering, or a lot of teams, I should say, be offering like legit players for him, right? There's been some rumors made, like, do the Jets offer Garrett Wilson? I don't think so.
No, you want to add to Garrett Wilson.
Exactly.
Correct.
It's his number one target.
By the way, did you see his quote the other day?
Do they offer Hassan Reddick maybe? That's something that is interesting, right? Like if I'm the Raiders, I think about that.
See, I was going to take it a step further. If I'm the Niners, I trade Aiyuk to the Jets for Hassan Reddick and do some sort of a pick swap and then use some of that ammunition in part to go land Davante Adams. That's how I was thinking.
That's a lot.
Look, I think where I'm coming down is
and the last thing Niner fans need is another guy who held out of training camp and needs to ramp up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where we're, this guy ramping up. It's like, all right, Bosa missed training camp, played week 1, and it was a down year for Bosa, and we were all ticked off about it. So, look, question, how do you think the 408 Comcast Business Text Line, Bonta, do you think the Raiders will consider trading the Niners now that they're in Vegas? There's a lot of Raider fans here in the Bay Area. I don't know, though.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's a possibility.
But I think one thing is he played in the system similar. LaFleur's system's obviously going to be very similar to Shanahan's, and he thrived under it. I think this is more about Aiyuk, if we're being 100% honest.
That's where I'm kind of coming from.
Davante. I think Davante's great. There's no doubt. But hearing how quick, and I'm not trying to pick on you. I'm saying you're one of Aiyuk's biggest fans. You love the player.
Shasky is Davante Adams.
No, I know, but wouldn't you also agree the early returns on just the whole Aiyuk experience for the last couple months has been odd? It's been odd.
I blame both parties.
I think both parties have seller buyer's remorse.
And look, I give credit to Brandon Aiyuk for taking accountability, saying I made this harder than it needed to be. But then last Friday happened. And I think it is a big deal what happened last Friday. I know you didn't want to talk about it after a win, but last Friday is a big deal to me.
Why?
It's just little things like that. Like we got to school this kid like he's a child or something. Like Shanahan walks over there back and forth, and Shanahan knows the media is over there. They know the media is right there on the sideline. Guys got their camera phones out looking, and he has to go over there and talk to him. And then Aiyuk, the way he takes off the shorts, now it's a small, a lot of people is like, you don't think there's some teammates in that locker room saying, damn, dude, just wear the right shorts. This is not what we do. This is not the 49er way. Tebow's out here wearing the right shorts. Trent's wearing the right shorts. Bosa's wearing the right shorts. And the the theatrics of it, I don't take that lightly.
Well, I do believe that there is a teammate thing that has been kind of like, not brewing, I don't want to say simmering, but it's been there. Like, Jawan Jennings posted some things on Instagram during the Aiyuk stuff during the summer that could be interpreted like, hey, man, you're getting a little greedy here, considering the situation. That's the way I interpreted it. And Jawan Jennings has said some things in postgame where, I don't know, to me, it does feel like Aiyuk, I don't want to go as strong as say like, oh, him and his teammates, there's friction. He doesn't feel 100% a part of the team right now. That's the feeling I get.
The fact that he was willing to go to Pittsburgh and he felt like the Niners did not respect him in a way that he wanted to be respected, then you know what? Go to Antonio Pierce. But we're talking about Davante Adams, and I have red zone issues. We're 8-16 for the red zone. We're one of the worst teams when it comes to converting touchdowns in the red zone. So if Davante Adams, he's a one-man wrecking crew in the red zone. In the red zone, you're going to get massive production from Davante Adams. So we're talking about Davante. There's only a few guys I'm trading Brandon Aiyuk for. Davante is one of those guys at the wide receiver position if you don't want to be here, because obviously there is some friction. Now, if Aiyuk wants to play ball and stay here, I'm cool with that, because I do like me some Brandon Aiyuk. I think he's a very good wide receiver. But the Raiders want to be dumb enough to flip Davante Adams already? Then you know what? I have a disgruntled wide receiver, and we're getting off to a slow start here. And we went through this whole dog and pony show in the month of August. And you know what? And by the way, let's not forget, John Lynch did field calls on both Brandon Aiyuk and Deebo Samuel. So they've searched that avenue. They've driven down this avenue to trade Brandon Aiyuk before. So I got no problem with it. It's big business. I'm trying to win a damn Super Bowl.
Well, it just feels like to me that the Niners clearly were trying to do major movement in the offseason, and things didn't materialize. And then I think plan B was like, all right, we'll try to get the Aiyuk deal done. But I don't think in their minds, this is just my feel, I don't think Aiyuk's in the cards long term. I just don't. And I think Aiyuk kind of knows it. And I think he got his money because it was a marriage of convenience for both parties. This feels very one and done to me.